It's not recording. You just got to pull the screen so it initiates that it turns on. I just put it there so you can monitor it if you want.
All right.
Guys. Adam, we're good? Once Adam confirms we're good, we will start talking and hosting this game.
Well,
I open a beer.
where's
You look like you have a light mustache right here, doesn't it? Like, look at no.
good? Where's Case?
Are we able to be heard?
The pouch, yeah.
Case?
All right. Can you hear? Good. All right. We're good to go. I'll get my phone. All right. So I'm Spartan 650. This is Ranger Recruit Malachi. The guy that just walked in the frame, that asshole, because he's late, chasing Natards around the camp of FULDA Gap. Confirms. That's Spartan 6 Bubba. Come on.
I just chased Natards.
Just take a piss
side. So what? Huh? I just chased Natards back to Natards side.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
That is Ranger Recruit Case. And that is Unknown Soldier #1. What is your team affiliation?
Serial killers.
Serial Killers out of
Sockasty.
South Carolina.
I'm with the Serial Killers in Sockasty, South Carolina. I am Serial Killer Panda.
Panda Express. All right. So we're at FULDA Gap AIRSOFT event 2017. We're on the Warsaw side, 117th. And it is Friday night, just before game time.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Yeah, we're waiting for it's a good night, so I have no complaints on Friday the 13th or any correlation to that event.
Nope, whatever.
All right, so
We will have Jason walking around for Michael Myers, so we're good.
But we do have NATO walking around.
NATO's a big enough issue.
Well, you said NATO's scared.
NATO's not scary.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's not much.
all right.
How's the Carolina sound straight?
So this is my 6th year at FULDA Gap. This is your first year. You filmed in 2014. What did you think about the event as a spectator?
As spectator, it was a good game. Both teams fighting hard, and I enjoyed filming. It was a good
That's
part.
where you filmed, yeah.
Yeah, I was also able to play.
Mid-film.
Yes, not only that, I was also able to play the night game.
Yeah.
So yeah, the night game was actually pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's right. I gave you pass. Did you run around in the night game with a shotty?
Yes, the shotty, I did.
How did you do?
Huh?
How did you do?
Got out 2 times, 5 little deaths.
I'm back.
That's 5
Probably
kills.
back.
So did you rock the flashlight out there?
I did not actually.
How where were you on the field? Was it the city or was it to Camp Lee?
The city.
City?
Yes.
So just city. They blocked everything else off.
Yes.
Speaking of night games, this year, I believe if they have enough population for the night game, they're actually gonna. I don't know if it's gonna. I think it's general. It's on the general's decision of if they're gonna
Count?
what?
No dice on stream.
That's not stream.
No dice on stream.
What? Our monitors having issues.
I mean, it could be a street.
Yeah, we're good. We lose connection?
No volume.
No volume?
No audio.
No audio at all. Nothing. Are you connected to Bluetooth?
Well, is this camera? Is camera number 1 still going?
It's showing audio levels.
It's showing audio levels. I don't know why it's not.
Adam,
Someone else
put
checked
some
it.
earbuds, see if that's working. Maybe it's just really low.
No, add volume.
Like the setting just says that volume not in this video.
We had volume and then it went away. I don't know if it's you.
Have you ever wanted to try Facebook Live?
Hey, technical difficulties.
I've got your
Technical
signal. I'm using
difficulties.
hotspot.
Can you pull that up with your
I do.
No, I don't got it. Facebook Live?
No Facebook Live.
No more.
Why you laughing? It works, man. What?
Facebook
I
Live
paid the
works.
bill somehow.
Oh my God, the connection here
Is it?
sucks.
It is community.
I had wonderful connection.
Is it cold?
I had wonderful connection
Do I need to join?
And then it
or
went to
have a call
shit.
yet? It doesn't matter.
tonight. I guess
Okay.
I don't know. This town we're in couldn't handle all the players.
My battery's
See, the funny
at
thing is,
half,
there's a cell
so-
tower right there. Yeah, right.
Well, whose cell tower is it?
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, but actually, I think it's like Verizon or something.
I mean,
it's Verizon.
And I have no.
I've offered my phone as
Yeah, I have
tricky.
like 2 bars.
I do know you can call Verizon and tell
What do I
them.
need to do now?
Just watch that antenna, right? You should have tried that a long time ago.
Okay,
Tomorrow.
like 19 minutes ago? Alright, so
I
click
have
on it and do
LTE.
what?
Never mind. I have 2 bars on that.
Are we just testing it?
It's
Oh, shit. I got 2 hours on X.
Oh.
Get away from me fast.
Of course. It's YouTube for you.
Yeah, it's,
These ads.
I didn't even monetize this. What the hell?
How are you monetizing while you're here?
It gives you the option.
There it goes.
So we're back. But like as it plays, I'm not sure if we're back. We're checking to see if anyone can hear us.
You guys are good.
We're good. You got audio?
She's got it.
Okay.
Where's you guys?
Do you want to hold my phone to make sure?
Adam. Adam.
Yeah.
Are you connected to the sound bar? Are you connected?
You guys are good.
All right, we're good. All right. We have confirmed. Intel has confirmed that we are good. All right. What we're talking about. Speaking of night games, that beforehand, the generals decided in agreement if points matter at the night game. But it seems like they're trying to embrace the night game here to where they're handing out kill sticks, basically. Yeah, these guys.
Hey, where did you hear this? Some sort of command?
I was talking about it with Ken, one of the head field reps.
Okay, great.
But if it's a low population, they're just going to hold it in SimCity like they've been doing the past like 3 years. And if they have enough population, they will be doing Rex, Gauntlet, and SimCity like they did it in the past, 2011, 2012. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of fun. But yeah. How many years have you played FULDA?
When was your first year?
My first year was 2011.
Same.
Okay?
Wouldn't this be our 7th year then, though?
6 years.
7 minus 1 is 6.
6 year,
I mean,
a 3-year
county-
Warsaw losing streak.
12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Because I'm counting 2011 and 2017.
7? We don't know how to count here.
No, yeah, because it would be, because there was 3 Warsaw victories, 3 NATO victories, and this one's going to be the society one. So to flip back, Warsaw is going to be a 4-1 for NATO.
What's that?
I'm saying this is 7th year because 11, 12, and 13 was Warsaw. 14, 15, 16 was NATO. This year is going to be the deciding factor is if that's going to switch back to Warsaw or is it going to be a 4th year NATO.
Oh, it's going to switch back to Warsaw.
Yeah. I'm saying 7 years for both of us.
What if you have combined doors?
I watch everyone say how wrong I am, but don't worry.
Don't do this to us. Logan, how many years have you been playing FULDA?
This will be my fourth.
4th year.
Based on what year?
You 2010, wasn't it? 2010, so this is your 8th year in a row?
No, not in a row.
Okay. So, okay. You missed 2011. You missed. 2 years ago. That's why we lost.
Yep, I wasn't here. I wasn't here 2 years ago.
One holes, he's still right in.
I was doing real men things.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Real men things.
Real me.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't here 2
real
years ago, so this will be my 7th year.
You guys need to protect me.
Maybe louder.
Look at the camera.
All of you need to be louder. Alright, so last year, what are your thoughts? And what would you like to see changed from last year to this year?
The weather.
The weather. Yeah, not raining, not humid, not hot.
Yeah, it poured on us
No,
last
preferably
year.
partly cloudy at like 55 degrees.
Like right now.
Before you're understating it, you say rain, but we were playing in the aftermath of a hurricane.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
No, we were playing during the rain.
Yeah, we were playing
Yeah.
during a hurricane.
Yeah, don't let anyone confuse you. We played during the hurricane at like, gale force winds and shit like that or whatever.
It literally was,
But they didn't cancel it, so we kept playing.
Weather.
I would like to see people stay on the field.
Yeah, it's that's been a running concern, definitely for Warsaw Generals and leadership. People leaving the field.
I leave the field once.
Yeah, and that's like if a gun goes down, like that's obvious,
If your gun goes down or you run out of ammo.
Seriously.
If my gun goes down, I come off the field, get something fixed. If I run out of ammo, I refill and get back out there.
Like people don't like AIRSOFT. Well, okay, if you're in a team, I'm pretty sure they're embracing that they are staying on the field. But if they're a team that's got like 1 or 2, 3 players going off in the back in the camp and shit like that, not really a great team unless they have. Oh yeah, my gun's down. My gun is down. Ran out of water. No BBs in the battery. Yeah, but you should have prepped for 3 of those. So really, the only excuse is your gear has malfunctioned to a point where you have to exit the field. That's literally the only excuse. It's literally you can get out there and you're tired? Bus security at a base. Right off the lines. Or something.
Yeah.
Take a break. Hydrate. Eat a snack. Whatever. There's no excuse of leaving off the field. Well, I mean, you're welcome to, but it's one of the most Warsaw. It almost cripples Warsaw. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, numerically, I know, well, proportionally, I think NATO does it just as much, if not more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
As the aggressive team, we need as much manpower as we can.
Exactly, because day 1 we're the aggressive team. Day 2, it's basically force on force, even.
I mean, that's the thing for us is we need the numbers, yes, but we need to push.
Exactly.
That's one of our biggest problems as well.
Well, that's also underlines another problem with Warsaw. We're supposed to have more players because we are our assaulting force. We're supposed to have more tanks, which never lines up. Usually NATO has
I have yet to hear about
2 to 1 tanks,
It looked like 50-50. I saw 2 tanks for each
which
side.
shouldn't be like that. Even on the field rules of main decision, it says 2 to 1 tank ratio.
We're in NATO's favor or our favor?
For our favor. which has never been a break.
Well, I thought in some years it was supposed to be a Natives fan too.
No, Warsaw, come on. 1934s!
Yeah, we're the USSR, my friend. We're the USSR, my friend.
Speaking of tanks, another thing I want to add on to this question you asked is more ATs. I know communication was a big issue last year, but when it came down to it, we had maybe 1 or 2 AT cards for all of
The
Warsaw.
only AT card that I know of personally is our card. Or not our card, but our bunker buster. That's the only thing I know of this year.
Well, I have a meeting tomorrow, and I'll be able to tell you guys before.
Yeah, tell us. Tell us.
Yeah, we have a Havoc launcher without the barrel extension, which we couldn't afford before FULDA Gap because of other expenses. So it's a bunker buster. We can tag bunkers all day long, but we are not allowed to touch tanks. We can try, but it's not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, well, if they catch us, we actually get in trouble if we go after tanks. So
Yeah.
it's a no-go. We have to use a bunker all the way. It's still going to be a big
Or
game.
players, you can
No, we cannot shoot it.
headshots with an AT.
You remember last year the little skinny kid?
Yeah, on our video. On our video.
Oh my God,
Got shot in the chest.
right in the chest.
You remember Scooby?
And then Scooby,
A couple years
literally diving in the way of a Nerf rocket to save a bunker with like 5 people in it. That was pretty epic. That was 2012.
That was 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was crazy. So I can't really ask you the same question, but from your 2014 experience as a spectator, what? I can remember the question.
What would you like to see change?
Basically,
Yeah.
Well, what did you see while you were here?
you were here last year, but from 2014, what would you like to see change, and what you saw as a spectator? What would you like to see change for this year's?
Really just leadership, really.
Leadership?
Yeah, most definitely. Because if we're gonna keep, if we're gonna just keep
NATO?
yeah, if we just keep losing, you know, we're on how long did you say? 6 years?
We've lost
3 years.
3 years in a row.
Yeah.
We won 3 years in a row.
So
I believe that's right.
if we lost 3 years in a row, then that means, you know, there need to be a change in leadership. I was here when
there
we
is a
did.
change in leadership.
I was here when we did lose. This 3 years later, I'm here, and now I'm being a player. I'm ready to with my team, with the team that I'm with right now. I feel like we didn't make it. Us as a team, we trained so hard for this event. So hopefully, us as a team plus us as a unit, we can make it.
Like at a team level, we can count on each other. We cannot count on commands and higher leadership outside of the team.
And that's not to be out of disrespect to the community. It's just that, simply put,
There's definitely in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of things that have happened. But
well, the biggest thing is, simply put, this isn't a Milsim game.
yeah,
For a lot of guys, this is a great time, it's a great party, and that's great. But
it's a
that's
very
not what
light Milsim.
I wouldn't even call this explosive. I'll say this is an airsoft game. That's it.
It's airsoft conquest
Scenario game.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, I just, for CFAC that's, tries to question Milsim experience, that's not something this type of game could provide if you follow strictly the command, strictly, what are the objectives of the game. That's something you have to make for your team. For example, so even here where everyone's going to be spraying and praying, we're still going to be doing semi-automatic only, for example. So, I mean, stuff like that is sort of self-limitations and self-rules on ourselves to make this experience more for us, what we want. Do we want to explain to them what just happened here? Believe it?
Oh yeah, Bubba left because there was a NATO potato that walked into our camp on the Warsaw side, so he went to check out.
If they want to play the flag stealing game, which is a bit of a tradition here at FULDA, that's fine. But we don't play that, and we don't have any flags here, so we don't appreciate people snooping around the campsite, especially with past years of people stealing and stuff. It's a bit of an issue. So.
All right, don't let them interrupt the live stream. All right. I'm sorry. Your comment on outside of our team level, man has, what I've heard, has changed a lot. Vinny is no longer commanding, and last year Vinny didn't command. Vinny was supposed to take 39th guard, which the hurricane interrupted that. Hurricane interrupted last year. I don't even want to count it because it messed up a lot of plans. But we do have a lot of command change. Also, we actually have a highly regulated RTO, which is nice. And that RTO, which has run the paintball FULDA gap simulation, they have never lost a game. Communication is key, and that is a big plus for the Warsaw side, being that their like RTO division or whatever, literally that's all they do at the paintball game. They do RTO, they do radios, so that is going to be a big game changer. Also, a lot of NATO players, commanders have switched sides to Warsaw, which leaves NATO off on the edge of the brink, but also gives us a chance to change the leadership, RTOs, and basically that the changing of leadership from NATO coming over here leaves them off the game to adapt to new leadership. So that gives us, which we have to do the same, but we're pretty confident in the command this year because of the reputation from them. But it is a different scenario. They are assaulting on the
So another one to tie into this question is, in years past, there has been a very large number of AIRSOFT players here. This field has taken pride in being one of the largest AIRSOFT events on this side of the East Coast.
Third largest event
third
in the world.
Third largest in the world or the nation?
Well, third largest in the world.
AIRSOFT
Second largest in the nation.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Point being,
that was like 2 years ago information, so I don't know.
Point being, this field sometimes get players up to around 2,000 players. This year, as of this past afternoon, they had a little over 800 registered players.
Yeah, like
yeah, and that's a big change from say years past. But honestly, for what we're trying to attain in games like this, that's better for us in a lot of ways. It's honestly less of a clusterfuck. The field's pretty large, has a lot of space, but with 2,000 people,
even like compared to like American Milsim AOs and stuff like that, this is super small.
And either way, it's still small for close to 2,000 people. So narrowing that down, cutting that well over half. We'll still probably have some walk-ons tomorrow, but even then, you're probably not going to get anywhere close to past 900. And it's going to be interesting to see how many of those guys are NATO, how many of those are Warsaw, and how it's going to affect the game. I think it's hopefully going to be more of a challenge, but possible. In years past, we have so many guys there, honestly, with the sheer amount of firepower, you literally just couldn't kill them quick enough.
I think it's going to be less of a challenge. Yeah. Because that leaves us more room for maneuverability and less room to being under constant fire.
Well, my wording there was, yeah, it's still going to be a challenge, but in comparison to, say, almost impossible.
Oh, yeah. I definitely had a lot more fun 2011 to 2013. 2011, I believe they had about 720 players, something around there. And then that was super fun because we can maneuver, we can flank around that. But when you have 1,200 people, which I believe they maxed out about 1,250, 2015.
So 2015 was 1,500.
1,500, and we couldn't get anywhere.
Right.
And also, NATO outnumbered us, which doesn't make much sense.
No, it does not, because as you stated before, us as the assaulting force really should be 2-to-1 in most ways.
Yeah.
Now you
Right, Adam? Any assaulting force, 3-to-1 ratio.
Any assaulting force against a hardened position with a duck, it needs to be a minimum of 3-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're doing 1-to-1 ratio. Well, they could combine, say, I don't know, 1/17 to 1/20 to go straight across from Falcon to Rex.
Yeah.
Consider that NATO can't maneuver. It has majority of the field, and they're dug in.
Yeah.
The teams are equal, well, supposed to be by numbers.
Yeah, the player count is usually equal,
So-
but they hold way more ground, way
So
more
what that
bases,
means
way more
is
points.
that
we have everything.
either one of two things has happened. Either command decisions just laid down a rule that says that you have to space out the companies a certain way, or leadership is stupid.
I believe.
I'm back to the front lines.
Back from the front line
We have all
of
our
the
flags back.
flag of the
I
flag
got all
campaign.
We're gonna have discrepancies in the morning because they really
Wait, what?
they broke my holes. And the other one that ripped
Really? Calling aggressive this year.
well, we got Moses' flag, nice flag back. But they ripped the fuck out somewhere. I don't know.
Was it the smaller one?
I don't know. It was it looked like it was already beat to shit. But
That's a little hostile.
yeah.
It just happened on accident, or
I think the pole happened on accident, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 30-foot long pole. They're trying to run away with it.
Yeah.
Stuck it to the end. They're running, it wobbled and stuck it into the ground. It did front flipper. But he literally did. I was chasing after him.
Pole vaulting.
Well, he was on the other side, so I was like, oh, okay.
So
I'm not getting waterboarded again.
So,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah. Was it last year? Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, he got captured trying to take a flag and got.
I got
waterboarded.
way too and I couldn't run away. I couldn't run away.
All right.
I would actually like to add on to something you said.
Yeah.
You said you had fun from 2011 to 2013, right?
Yeah. Like that was my ultimate fun at FULDA. Also, I was still newer at AIRSOFT. I officially started in 2010. I'm sorry, 2011. That's when I got all my gear in. Before that, I kind of like, hey, ball play.
The reason I say
I'll
that
borrow your gun.
the reason I say it, I would agree that 2011, 2012 was definitely a blast for the time and how much we understood about airsoft at the time. But 2013 and 2015 and 16, I did not have fun. Well,
You had fun.
I had fun, but not as much.
Yeah.
12 and
We started to realize what
so 12 and 14, I believe, are the 2 years I particularly want to talk about. Because in 2011, pretty much what happened was Warsaw beat NATO in the last 10 minutes by one objective, pretty much. In 2012, we won by
That was the first Warsaw victory.
in what was it,
That
6
was
years?
huge.
What was it, 6 or 7 years? Well, the first Warsaw victory.
something like that.
Yeah.
But point being, in 2012, we won pretty hands down point-wise. But what NATO did was they're still aggressive and it's still a fun match. And I think there were plenty of NATO guys. I could be wrong, but I think Duffy was on NATO. And we asked him, like, are you having fun? He's like, yeah, actually. And that was great.
Stuffy here? Have we seen it?
Help each year.
We have.
I think he's on there.
I could be wrong, but I think it was something. I know we saw it that year.
Yeah.
But the problem was the last Warsaw victory. Honestly, for the victories themselves, wasn't for me. It wasn't as fun either because in Nader's situation, they weren't aggressive. You know, we just pile drived them and they had a spawn.
Yeah.
And that was it. And they weren't having fun, and we were kind of sitting there like, this isn't fun.
That happened to us.
Yep. And then the problem is in 2014, when we lost the first time, we kind of switched roles back in 2012 where we lost point-wise, but we still had a great time. You know, but then 50 to 16 came along and had the same situation. So,
Steamrolled like crazy.
yeah.
I'm hoping
Last year wasn't too bad.
Yeah, last year wasn't too bad because we had less players.
Yeah.
So we actually had a good fight.
So what I'm hoping, like whether victory or defeat in this, you know, this year either side can still have fun if they just play it. You know, they shouldn't be demoralized by a point system.
Yeah, I mean,
No, not at all.
is-
I mean, but I mean, you can't say this isn't competitive. You know,
I know it is.
It is.
it is always fun. You know,
Well, this is the big thing about FULDA.
but once you lose that sight of where it's not fun, if you lose,
Well, then what's the
then
point?
that's
No.
Well, here's the thing about FULDA. This is a social gathering for all of us airsofters around the surrounding states. That's the big part of it.
Yeah.
We do get aggressive with each other, you know, when we're actually on the battlefield. But once we get off, it's just a huge social event for us. And it's a lot of fun for us. Like some of us, this is the only event we go to every year. I mean, like I know a bunch of guys. This is the only event they go to every year.
Every year is one event.
I saw that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, camera guy over there, combat cameraman.
Callback cameraman.
But I mean, it's a social event. If you don't go airsofting, that's your thing.
Yeah.
If you come out here once a year, that's your thing. But this is a fun event. Even for just the social side of it, it's a fun event. There's so many shenanigans, it's fun.
You wanna? We'll get this.
No.
We're good. You wanna move on to the next question?
We got one more.
Oh,
Same thing.
sorry.
Same
My
question.
bad.
You're last in line.
Something I'd love to see change from last year and years past. Well, definitely, I'm saying this as a caveat to what was said earlier, definitely more people staying on the field. And like Shifty said, unless you have a major gear malfunction, by all means, try your best to stay on the field. And that's something I want to see overall, whether it be Warsaw or NATO. It's just an issue of people not wanting to be on the field. I'm guilty of it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are guilty of it.
I know I am. I've gotten exhausted and had to get on the field.
Yep. Last year was one of the first years where I did not have a gun go down. Because the 2 years prior, both times I had my primary weapon go down and unfixable at the time. So I had to either get a loaner or go out on the field without a primary and just morale booster, yeah. But definitely, I want to see more people staying on the field. Also, the weather right now, like 65
Right now,
degrees.
beautiful.
65 degrees with a light mist would be great. But 65 and dry would be
Better.
perfect. Because last year it was what, 75 to 80?
75 to 80 in a hurricane.
Yeah, during a hurricane.
100% humidity.
100% humidity, rain coming down in sheets,
Yeah.
winds.
I mean, it was looking good this year, and then Hurricane Nate came through and totally fucked up that cold front.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Right now, we're just barely experiencing that.
no, but like Gary, was weird. It's like
When we got here, it was what, 80 degrees?
Yeah, no, it was 75.
75 degrees, and now it's what?
65.
65.
yeah. Before that, tonight was supposed to be 40. You know, like before Hurricane Nate was a thing.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it was supposed to be like when we first started coming here. Taylor and I remember it was freezing those nights when we first started coming here.
I remember it freeze over.
Yeah, there would be frost on the
Freeze
ground.
over. I'd be fucking curling up with one of you.
Yep. I remember 2013.
2013.
It had frosted over. I was the first one awake because I was freezing cold. I ended up getting the fire started just because of how cold I was.
That's the thing. It's like I had a Ranger.
Global warming's not a thing.
I had a Ranger sleeping bag, which is for if somebody gets hit, and they start going to critical shock and start being super cold, get in it. I had one of those, and I was still freezing cold.
You see,
This year I was smart and brought my 3-part military sleeping bag.
you 3-part military sleep bag and your whoobies.
And my whoobies.
Whoobies are lifesavers.
Whoopie is life. Whoopie is love. Be my whoopie. Whoopie.
Thanks to the hookup.
You know,
All right, so out of all of us here, who walked the entire field before game? In Egypt. Okay, so what are the field changes that we've seen from
So, when it comes to physical field changes, that's something
physical field changes? Yeah.
yeah, after this, if we have time, we'll try to debrief the actual team. But viewer, when it comes to anything from Duckett and Kerr, this was called where Eastern Infantry starts.
Okay, I know where you're
Yeah, that's pretty much a straight line on either side to militarize zone.
Yeah.
Anything above that in the wood line, all the way to Mecklenburg, all the way past Hamburger Hill, all of that, very little has changed at all. At Duckett, I'm not because I wasn't there in years past because we're losing and I was on defense.
I haven't seen Apache in so long. Oh my god.
But so
remember when we defended that for like 4 hours?
Yeah.
That was great.
point being for Duckett, what was a shell of a building for years is now a large red building that you can't bunker tag but must clear. But that might have been there years past.
Weeks never made it before.
Yeah. Now for near Kerr, between Kerr and Dead Zone 5, which is the second Warsaw dead zone we have by default, in past Odorf. That in between there is a couple of barrels and some bunkers that kind of protect that road line, especially if someone's from the creek, they can shoot down into the creek at them. And that helps protect the dead zone, kind of gives it a little bit something to protect it. Because I know when we pushed back in years past, we would have to have that quick sprint straight out the dead zone to get to cover, or else we have to walk straight back to the dead zone.
Yeah.
So it gives us a little bit of help there, which is good. Speaking of Odorf, in years past, we were on the defensive there too, and there's quite a funnel area next to the creek on the other side. It's a bit open that NATO likes to try to get in, and likewise we try to get out of. And there they have added a couple new wooden bunkers, or wooden cover panels, essentially. Yeah, plywood, stuff like that, which will help us. Likewise, though, they've added a little bit more directly next to the Odor flag, but those panels, despite not being bunkers, do have orange diamonds on them. So the idea is people who are puppet guarding the flag can now be taken out by 18.
You're gonna have a fun time with that one.
Yeah.
And
Well, so
speaking of which, did you ever get any more lunch?
right now we're working with 7, but speaking, you mentioned launcher. Overall, a lot more bunkers out here, a lot more organized, a lot more have fresh paint on them. So you see a lot more orange diamonds. There's a lot more bunkers. People just come up with bunker tag, at least those of threat of importance.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
You know, when we go down in the valley, the next up that
When you go into
okay,
so you're talking about when you head to Chicken Hawk.
no, on the other side.
Yep.
You know how we were last year? We went down the valley where they had took that DZ or
You're talking about DZ5, the one I just talked about?
yeah, the DZ5.
Okay.
How reinforced is that?
Right next to dead
Which,
zone.
for some fucking flaw in and they could take that, I guess. Even though it's a designated Warsaw
Well,
DZ.
actually, they can't, but they can overrun it. So that means you have this goofy situation of us spawning out of it and us shooting each
Well,
other.
yeah, but
See, the issue
the
was
thing
last
about that is they were actually spawning out of it.
year. Yeah, the issue was last year they were spawning out of it.
That no,
Yeah, well, that's a no-go.
and that's why 2015 we couldn't even fucking move out of Gotham.
Well, so I'm sorry, what was your question, Josh?
How reinforced is that OP?
So that bunker I was referring to is the in-between. So you know the bridge that cuts across the creek and it goes up?
Yeah.
You go left to EGI starting area, or to the right, which is the dead zone. Right there is about 5 or 6 black drum barrels and a couple pieces of plywood. Again, it's not too much but it's more than nothing. And just that little something there will go a long way if someone's in that position.
Yeah.
Because especially in years past, they clearly realized that even that small area has been a problem for us.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of going down Warsaw's side first, once you go back up the north, you see where the tree line ends, and you see right at the tree line. In years past, they started building a couple bunkers there for us. This year, they have added another bunker just maybe 10 feet in front of that one.
What?
Girl that likes horse girl.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
Sounds like someone's gonna date.
What do I call it?
Just get out of here. Just get out of here.
Just hop on his lap right now.
Just get out of here.
Oh, she's a player. You want her to come in and sit in?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, invite her in.
That
What's
was
her name?
That was caught on audio, wasn't it?
Lita?
Dina.
Lita?
Okay, so
Harlequin?
that was on streaming now, right?
We're very welcoming.
We're not too idiotic.
We love your outfit.
So guys, you guys 11?
No.
We're trying to find a flag that is looking for us.
Where's your ID?
We're NATO.
Where's your ID?
Like you said,
He said, if anything, talk to Warsaw Command.
He did. He posted me over here.
Really?
Yeah.
We've done nothing about that.
You're in the wrong direction,
Well,
man.
the games were over. We're just trying to find a property now. So.
Yeah, we're doing a live stream right now, man.
Yeah,
we
that was a
don't
nice
have
day.
any flags right here. We have no idea.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, buddy.
Boss.
Anyway,
That
so
was NATO. Yeah, guys, that was our enemy coming to talk with us.
Oh my God.
Hey, watch it. We got beer on the table. Now we got Harley Quinn over here.
can you even get the audio from there?
What's your name again?
Dina. Everyone calls me Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. The outfit.
Yeah, I took the jacket off. Get a little hot.
So you got two are dating now, right? When's the marriage?
Where's the marriage?
I don't think you're agreed to this.
I need more beer for this.
I think I need more moonshine or something.
Hey, Corey, are we picking up
Wait,
audio
who's got
from here?
moonshine?
Wait, what?
Who said anything moonshine? I didn't say anything.
What?
Moonshine.
I haven't even made a run this year. What?
I don't have anything. Sober.
All right.
So,
You're playing, right?
Yes.
What group are you on? 120.
Oh, God. What? Oh, well, sorry.
You gotta yell at him.
I'm sorry. I've never done it before. Okay, 120th. Yeah, but usually if I'm doing anything besides like just playing like Milsim, I normally run with GMDR.
GMDR.
Green Mountain Dew Rangers. We are actually a group, I promise you. It's not a guy.
Yes.
We are the Green Mountain Dew Rangers. Woo!
Oh my
We're
God.
pretty awesome group. The guy who started it, Ghost, is freaking amazing.
That's great.
Love him to death.
How many years have you played FULDA?
This is actually only my second year.
Second year?
Yep.
What do you think of the last year?
I loved it. I fell in love with it. I think,
were you also in Warsaw last year?
yes, I actually got tricked into going Warsaw. I got tricked. I got tricked. I was being told, hey, why don't you go on this team because, we were being tanned for Serious Viking prior, and Ghost was like, hey, can you just switch to Warsaw? And I wasn't reading the fine print. I'm thinking he said tan for Serious Viking. I don't know how I got that mixed up, but I was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go Warsaw. And then I'm like, wait, hold on a minute, that's wrong. But I already had said yes at that point, so it was kind of like you just have to go with it. Yeah, it was just you gotta just go with it. It was
But Warsaw is best.
yeah, actually, it was more fun to be on Warsaw on the sheer fact that everyone who I play airsoft with back home in Georgia is always NATO. So to have that little rivalry is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
What's the difference between the NATO and Warsaw that you experienced?
Warsaw's
It's like, amen to that.
I mean, come on,
Amen to that
let's be honest here. Like, look, NATO, I think NATO just kind of takes things too seriously, and NATO also just doesn't seem to have as much camaraderie as Warsaw does, and that's why I really realized they end up falling apart. Probably, towards certain areas of the day, they just kind of fall apart because they don't know each other. They don't try to know each other.
Exactly.
And they tend to have, they try to be experienced in areas, but people who want to be, well, maybe aren't as experienced, end up in command positions, and no one wants to listen to them. No one wants to give them a chance. So not giving them a chance causes conflict, and then, you're not actually giving these people, a proper, team to work with, and you're not ever actually having any form of, camaraderie. It's stupid. It's one of those things where Warsaw, like, see what we're doing right here? We're talking, we're having, we're drinking,
Exactly.
Now,
Like NATO reminds you, it's just like any other scenario team.
Yeah.
Any other scenario side.
Yeah.
In Warsaw, we kind of get into character and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I mean, we were like singing Russian songs or attempting to speak in Russian. I mean, there was a lot of attempting there. I was going for the German portion. I mean, it's too much on that part, but hey, we tried.
now,
You said something first. Go
Go
ahead.
now you weren't here for a conversation we're having before on the stream in regards to finding enjoyment in a game, whether you win or lose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
Whoopee! No! Whoopee! Whoopee!
I want to repeat that for the camera. So you probably weren't here on the stream earlier when we were discussing the question, but we're talking about finding enjoyment in FULDA gap, whether you win or lose, what you want to get out of it. To play the devil's advocate here to what you just said, I know we're all Warsaw right now, but NATO did win last year.
I know they keep their butt. Well, here's the thing.
So that's what I like to say. So like, despite the things you just said,
Yeah, I mean, they still did a good job, but it's one of those things. Despite the fact that they don't have that, my only thing is that for me having friends on NATO, knowing that someone just isn't have fun with people they don't that's what the difference is. So yeah, they may have fun, they may have kicked their butt in an area, but the only reason, actually, at one point, the only reason they actually did win was because the second day some of our guys ended up getting up and leaving. So that's I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that's the reason we lost, but that's the reason we lost.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Not for the technical record, but yeah, for the record.
Yeah, because I wasn't there that year.
But the fact is that they don't I've heard stories from the guys on Team AIRSOFT talking about how they had fun, but they're on a team together. They know each other. Well, what happens when you don't know someone? So yeah, they may have fun if you're all together or whatever, and maybe you have that random group of people who just don't know you. They may not be having as much fun because you're not including them in this.
Yeah, like I just met you tonight.
Yeah.
Like I see Moses and D. Well, Moses just moved down to our town.
Right.
So I see him every once in a while. D and Ryan, I don't see them except for once a year, and that's here.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I don't see any of you guys except for once a year.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like,
not you.
I don't see him. I talk to him on occasion.
Yeah.
I talk to everybody here.
Like I talked to Cass a lot because Cass because I hope you guys, my mom will never see this. I drunkenly volunteered as an XO last year, and that's actually how I ended up doing the whole XO thing. Whenever you can ask him, I was plastered. I was too far gone, and I basically woke up in the morning going, "Oh my god, I'm an XO." And I was a little freaked out.
I have a responsibility.
My head popped out, my head popped up my pillow, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm screwed." And it was just kind of weird because I didn't know Cass at all except for the drunk few moments that I had that I sort of remember.
Yeah.
It's still a little fuzzy. But those few moments afterwards, he didn't even freaking know me, and next thing you know, he's being all, "Hey, let's do this. I'm gonna show you this. At the same time, I'll throw you to sharks too."
Yeah.
And it works.
It's like for one thing, like you said earlier, is for Warsaw, it's a lot of camaraderie.
Yes.
I mean, we're sitting here drinking and having a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, we're drinking. We have younger players, yes. We have older players, yes. But we're all coming together, having fun, talking to each other. We talk to people we don't know. I just met you.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here BSing, shooting threes.
Yeah.
I mean, talking to people you don't know.
And I think that's the nice part about it. And it's one of those things where you don't have to try to be someone else. And, I've seen a lot of that in general AIRSOFT. I can say half the series. I can say, especially at ODR, I saw a lot of people. Operation Drag Road, just in case anyone doesn't know that. Operation Dragon Road 1 and 2 and 3 that I attended, and I watched as people tried to be someone they weren't, and you know, sometimes it tends to be that people in command try to be someone they aren't, and instead of just being a good person towards everyone, being a good commander or whatever, just being there for your team. That's all that freaking matters.
Despite all the Warsaw suicidal charges that we enforce, if your tree shoot them in the back.
I mean,
I got shot in the ass so many times.
It's so flip-sided.
Yeah, I mean, we're nice to each other. Then you retreat. Here, we're gonna shoot you just because we're gonna make an example out of you.
Yeah, I got
Friendly
shot,
fire
like,
is on.
I got shot like 8 times past couple years by Moses in the ass because I was already dead. Walking back to DZ, he's still halfway drunk.
When is he not?
Yeah, very true. He's still halfway drunk. So I'm just walking back to dead zone. Get your ass back out there. Clack.
I still remember the moment that I yelled at Cass because Cass wanted to go off the field. He didn't tell us why. Didn't explain the exact reason why he wanted to get off the field. But in some way, shape, or form, he gets off the field. I yell at him and call him some. We're not going to say some of the things I said to him. And
Very derogatory names.
Yeah, very, very verbal and derogatory names. And I called him out, and he said, "Well, I don't care. I'm going back to my camp." And Moses, the first thing he does, I swear, I might have been a little drunk, but he hands me a grenade and just goes, "Do it." And I was like,
okay,
all right. And then I just point out all these people, like, you come with me. Like, some guys, like, I just got back here. I said, good, come on, let's go.
Let's go.
And we went to go take an area, and we completely screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, we screwed
so
up.
many times.
But it was well worth the screw up. It was so worth it because, you know, for me not ever being in the command position, I was the other one to follow and everyone lead. It kind of felt like it was a lot of fun, honestly. I was kind of dying laughing at one point because I had the first portion of the day before Cass walk off the field was I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and so he's like, pretend you know what you're doing. I said okay, and so I was like, hey, you guys charge at that tree line, and they all got lit up, and I went, that tree line, and that was it. And I was like, I was like, Cass, I just sent everyone to their death right now. He goes, do it again. I was like,
we're Russians. That's what we do.
he's like, well, send them again. I was like, but I'm sending half the team to the graveyard. He's like, they'll get it. I'm like, I'm just dying.
Get there eventually.
I'm just like, all right.
The pain helps you learn.
I had no clue what I was doing, but I think that's part of the learning process, and that's what made it fun. Is I had no clue what I was doing, but it still was a lot of fun.
That's the experience I had. I commanded ETI 2015, and Bailey, Sergeant fucking Officer. He was XL, and literally, we were stuck at the fire line all day long, the DMZ, trying to get guys across, trying to puncture a hole, and just we literally had to kick them out just to get them across. And even then, they just can't. They sat right in the middle of the fire line in the open. It just got lit up. That's another thing. I know. It's like you got to get over that fact. Like you're gonna get out and you're gonna make them walk half a mile to the DMZ, get back in. But it's also their perspective. We're not gonna get anywhere if we sit right here.
Yeah.
So it really takes a whole. Everyone has to really look at the big picture.
Most definitely.
Yep.
You completely understand. Thanks to goddamn baby.
It kind of looked like Fozzie or something.
So I guess since you're a special guest, what is your most memorable moment for FULDA Gap out of all the 2 years that you played? Well, 1.5.
Probably when Cass decided to take a nap in the middle of the second day at FULDA, like literally at Alpha, and I yelled at him to get his goddamn ass up because I was done with his stuff today, and I yelled again because I said there is no sleeping in AIRSOFT and some other stuff like that, and basically just yelled at him, and everyone goes, "She's got you by the balls." And that was it for me. Was that I was like, I got him by the balls. Yes, that was like the victorious moment, but. I think that was the funniest for me. That was probably the best moment because I kind of felt like I actually grew a pair. Like, actually did. I feel like I actually did something for once. I was like, wow, someone actually listened. That's a first. Wow, new experiences.
What?
Like,
What is going on?
Mind you, prior to this, I had an issue with a guy who didn't want to listen to me because I was a female.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Oh, I
always
know.
gonna have those guys.
You're right here. You are a suicidal charge.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
Hand grenades out.
Ah,
I've had so many, like,
you're a
people.
conscript. I don't care what gender you are.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Is so many people I've heard that from, and I'm just like, you know, I was like, if I had a dick, this would be different.
There is another question. Being a female and obviously male dominating sport.
I will be honest, it's a little tough sometimes. I'm not gonna be the whole like, oh my gosh, a guy like, you know, disrespects me every 5 seconds. No. What sucks is that, you know, females tend to seem. I mean, I guess. Mind you, I went to an all women's college, so I guess it's me from, you know, outside in technically. Looking at it, females tend to be a little more seen as submissive as opposed to dominant. So having a dominant personality and being an airsoft is kind of what you need. You need to have a dominant personality to really show that you're not going to be pushed around. That's the hard part. Is that females, we get a lot of things for like, you know, I've heard girls say that, you know, they have issues because, you know, mind you, we have something up top. We have boobs. Okay, we have boobs. We have boobs. Okay.
We don't fucking care.
We have boobs now. Okay, so some of the stuff are vests. Vests do not always come comfortable for females. You know, so it's a little hard to find a vest that, you know, doesn't feel like, you know, you're basically.
Make female vests?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do, but they look like, the thing is that they're sexualized.
Yeah.
They're very sexualized, and that's the hard part about females in airsoft is the sexualization of it. I mean,
the only thing I can think about it.
By a moth.
The only thing I can think about at that moment is sexualized armor is the female armor in Skyrim.
yeah, I mean, there's they even
I
make
can
female.
understand that, though.
They make a tactical corsets for girls, and it's like, and I mean, for me coming from a person who I played sports in high school, I played sports in college, I was always the tomboy. For me, that's kind of insulting because I'm sitting there going, look, if a guy can do it, I can do it too. If a guy can wear it, why the hell can't I? So that's why, like, my vest, I actually wear just a condor vest. It literally, it didn't even fit. I had to tailor it to my size because the other hard part is no matter what size you get, it's not always going to fit you right. And sometimes, you know, the smaller vests, sure, they, you know, work, but you can't pack a lot on it.
That's the thing. I was in the military.
Right, April?
I was in the military. It was an integrated training. We had females as well as males. Yeah, they had trouble, but they fucking dealt with it, and they still deal with it today. I know a lot of people that are still out there friends with them on Facebook. You know, they deal with it today. It's like they deal with it.
And that's the thing is that when I started playing, I wasn't around people who were like that. That was the nice thing. I wasn't around people who were saying that I couldn't do it because I was female. That was positive. But, you know, going to some events, you know, you start to hear a few things you don't want to hear. And, you know, you start to hear some negative comments. Well, I also started refereeing, too, in the process of this few years. And in refereeing, there was a lot of times where I was, like, you know, hearing what males have to say about females, and it wasn't even towards me. And I'd be like, you know, some guy would say how, you know, well, you know, she was missing the entire time probably because she, you know, girls can't shoot well, or something like that, some bull crap like that. Like, guys used to say that girls can't shoot better than
backfire in a paintball game.
guys. I mean, I've heard guys flat out say that girls can't shoot better than them.
Let me say this, for the record, biologically women are better shooters.
And I will back him up on that.
Center of mass on a female is at the hips, where center of mass on a guy is at the chest. We have more blood flow going to our chest, meaning our arms shake more with every heart pump. This is why Russia during World War II, their best snipers were females.
Yep. I mean, see, that's the thing.
Boom.
Like,
Didn't know that.
I mean, that's the thing.
Learn something every day.
I didn't
in
know
Warsaw.
that.
Yeah.
During my training, my military training, we had a lot of top shots. So female.
That's the thing is that, like, guys don't, and it's like, it's one of those things where when I worked at, like, you know, the referee, I noticed that some guys didn't call it if a woman was shooting them. I saw a girl pick a guy off, you know, nailed him right in the head, okay? Sniper shot right in the head.
Yeah.
He did not call it. And I called him out for it. And that to me, and he's like, I said, why? I asked him, I pulled him aside, I said, why wouldn't you have called it a hit? He goes, not gonna call him a woman. And I went, get the hell off the field. Go, leave. I kicked him out of that day. I was done.
That's the goal.
Intolerable. We're kind of going in like a clockwise circle here. So, Logan, same question. Your most memorable FULDA Gap experience?
Most memorable FULDA Gap experience.
Yep. Tonight.
I'm kidding.
Professionalism, guys. Professionalism.
What is
What the fuck
professionalism?
is that?
I mean, do you want me to
I
explain
don't know
it
the
to you?
meaning of the word.
My most memorable moment on the field was probably, what was it, 2014 FULDA Gap. Me and another group of guys, the team I was with at the time, we kind of got split up on the field because most of us decided to call it quits and get off the field halfway through day one. And me and a few other guys, yep, it happens. But me and another few guys on the field who stayed decided to do some freaky deaky sneaky stuff and ended up sneaking all around the entire field, getting behind NATO and laying waste for a good 30 minutes. They didn't know where we were. When they did find us, just the onslaught of plastic being slung at us was insane. And that is by far my most memorable moment.
Yeah.
Chandler?
I'm trying to.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to remember what year it was. It might have been 2012 or 13. But it was one of the years where we actually did beat NATO hands down point wise, but NATO was still giving it their all. We were at Alpha, and pretty much once we took Alpha all day, and then all day Saturday, and then all day Sunday, we pretty much had guys in Alpha all day, and NATO did not stop attacking it. And pretty much what would happen is, at any point across the field, you hear this slow humming sound. And what it was the humming sound of hundreds of airsoft guns constantly going on. There's a haze of smoke, like smoke grenades or chemical warfare smoke grenades, used at the field at all times, and it was literally just raining white mist of all the white BBs.
It was snowing, wasn't it?
It was snowing.
And
was snowing.
when I say it didn't stop, I seriously mean it. Every time I went there for pretty much Saturday afternoon onward till the end of Sunday, anytime there's constant fire there, it was just constantly being contested. And, I hope NATO had fun, because I know we were.
And every time Warsaw has FULDA or Alpha, it is just 100% just constant.
Now,
Yeah, that was fun last year.
and actually, I say that a little bit of context. We call it Alpha. Most people who come here often is called Alpha, but on the field map, it's technically FULDA.
Yeah.
Is what the objective actually is called. So it's the training system in the Woodline.
Yeah. All right. So, Malachi,
The new guy.
I know you haven't played. You played the night game in 2014, but
Well, what's the question again?
what's your most memorable moment? So,
I'm gonna be honest
eating
with you.
campsite.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say last time, but a couple days later, something happened. But I feel like this time is the best memorable moment for me because I'm coming back from 3 years of just disappearing, of absence.
Yeah, get back into sport.
And so with me coming back, I feel like I have so much to prove, with me being a recruit, trying to become a full member. So, I feel like this is the most memorable moment right now.
Aww.
So, especially being with you guys.
Why
to this moment.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, hands above the waist. I saw that.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think that's gonna be the best answer all night. I'm just throwing that out now. It's gonna be the best answer all night. All of ours just we're done. I think all of our answers are gonna be screwed over now.
But I gotta admit though, from what everyone has said so far, I have yet to hear you guys. But from the rest of you guys, I am ready
You're gonna love
to
it.
be defending
Defending?
FULDA.
Fuck that, we're attacking.
And
We're killing everything.
Kill,
being in that swarm of BBs, I feel like that's gonna be
It's gonna be
legit.
fun. I'm gonna tell you flat out.
It's gonna be a
It's
lot of fun.
gonna you will get hit a lot, and it's probably gonna be one of those things where it's like this is gonna be the wild west of airsoft at this point.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it, you post it, and it's gonna
See-
go through every season. You're gonna see it snow. You're gonna see it some bright shining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're gonna get rained on. Crap.
See, here's the thing. There's no SOPs here like
Nope.
Nelson events.
There
You can
not.
flip the retard switch. You can flip the retard switch here.
Well, I'm really excited to be here, and I feel like that this is my memorable moment. And so tomorrow,
Lots of
Sunday,
catching up there.
This answer still kills mine.
To-
Everyone.
tomorrow and today.
Just wait till you
Yeah,
hear
tomorrow and Sunday, both will be my memorable moments that I can be able to talk about next year.
Yeah.
If you get, he's gonna run us all out of. That's just,
You're a cameraman for 2014. Out of the gameplay that you saw, spectated, what was your best memorable moment? Like, what was the most awesome thing you saw
As a
that
spectator.
day? As a spectator.
As a spectator,
It was a sucky kind of year, but still, there's those moments. What's the first thing that that was funny?
now I know I'm Team Warsaw, but I gotta say, when we was just walking on the field trying to go in the line of fire,
We're
and
not-
we
we're
all
not
just get hit.
No bias.
We're not biased.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, we just all get hit with BBs. Even myself, as just a camera guy, I got a little bit of taste of the action.
You got raped.
Yeah.
You got raped by BBs.
Also, another good memorable moment is actually when you was talking about Bailey. When we did the recording, I was actually there taking the recording. It was either me or Mintz. He shot the rocket launcher and destroyed the whole bunker. Yeah,
He took
destroyed
out
the
that
whole
bunker across from Gotha to Rex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
One
shot
shot.
it just by. Yeah.
Got the
And had to
punch
run
on his
all the
car
way.
and everything.
And what was so amazing was when we got it on camera of him hitting it, and it was pretty phenomenal. That was a pretty good moment.
That was.
You.
In all honesty, mine, it's bad. But mine was last year.
Last year.
I had 2 incidents. Everyone here knows the 2 incidents. Except for you.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Last year,
I did.
we put a video out last year. We've yet to put out the other part of that video.
Look, dude. All right, chill. All right, I don't have time for this shit.
But anyway, I was laying down at the bottom of the hill on the right side of Gotha. I was laying prone in some grass. We hadn't taken any contestants in 45 minutes or so. I'm just laying there prone, waiting for something to happen because they had capped that spawn point up on top of the hill. So I'm just sitting there waiting across the river for something to happen. All of a sudden I hear thwack from a sniper rifle. So I instinctively, because we've had fire for the past hour and a half on the tree line to my left. The tree line was 10-15 yards to my left. So I'm like, oh shit, here comes NATO down the creek. So I was like, oh shit. So instinctively, I think, oh, here comes like 10 to 15 guys coming down the creek trying to kill us all. So I flip the retard switch, roll over, and lay waste to the whole area. It was like a little 10, 11-year-old kid with a sniper rifle.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I felt so bad afterwards. I felt so bad.
Child.
I felt so bad for that kid because back at that point I was running my Franken gun, which shoots 32 rounds a second. So I felt so bad about it. I think about it to this day. I'm just like, I probably ruined the sport for that little kid. I felt so bad about it. Because he literally, legitimately scared the shit out of me. Because I didn't hear him at all. Whoa, excuse me. Again. Like, I didn't hear him at all coming down the creek. I didn't hear him at all. Like, it scared the shit out of me because it was like a JG bar 10, the loudest crack in the world. He was like, for me to probably that 10 by 20 over there was about 10 yards. Loudest crack in the world, and it would have hurt. Like I said on the video, I actually got hit. I don't know how he missed. I seriously don't know how he missed, but I feel so bad to this day. So I dumped half a mag into that forest to my left. I still feel so bad about it to this day. But then the next day, Sunday afternoon, kind of getting towards game end, I pulled out my sniper rifle. 600 feet per second with a .3. I was sitting at Gotha, sniping over towards Rex, and there was a guy wearing a ghillie suit. I had shot him 3 times before. He didn't call it, which I don't blame him because it's a ghillie suit. Even at 600 feet per second, it's still 300 feet to where I was shooting it. So it's probably hitting about 300 feet per second when I hit it. So I'm like, you know what? He's wearing a thick ghillie suit. He probably doesn't feel it. So I'm like, I'm gonna shoot one more time. If he doesn't call, I'm moving to a different target. So I shot that one more time. I'm sitting there staring down my scope, watching the BB fly. And as I watch the BB fly, he goes, it looks at me. It looks my direction. And I just see, fly.
And then spider webs
on his fucking paintball mask. And then I just see. I cracked Homie's eye pro at 300 feet, going about 300 feet per second by the time it hit.
The magic of 3 O's.
Were you on what team were you on last year?
Warsaw.
Okay, because there was a guy on NATO who was shooting really hot.
We have a video of a guy cracking one of our guys' eye pro.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, hold on.
Bro,
Were you the guy who did that?
He was like 150 feet out.
It was one of those Falcon Zulu goggles.
Yes.
Really strong. Yeah. We have a video of that. And he literally shot through.
It was a clean hole.
It was a clean hole. But I feel bad about it. But yeah, it was one of those old JT paintball masks.
Okay. Well,
so it's gonna break eventually.
Yeah.
But I still feel bad because I hit it, cracked his mask.
Well, it's no different than I have my mask shot off in my face. Shit happens.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. You have something mine was getting old. Okay, my mask was getting old. It was a lower mask. It just broke.
Yeah.
It happens. So, I guess it's someone to look
Corey,
at.
you've had a slingshot, or you or Bailey had your slingshot out.
What?
The condor sling you or Bailey had. Literally, you had it slung. You had your weapon. I think it was you or either Bailey. I think it was Bailey. Had his weapon slung, and y'all all of a sudden took fire, and it apparently raped across the sling point, the clip.
Yeah.
It just broke the clip.
That was Bailey.
Was it Bailey? It just
I've
broke
only
the clip
owned
and his
one
weapon
sling.
fell.
That was like a savvy sniper quad.
Yeah, it shot the buckle. It shot the buckle out of the sling. It was so bad. Now I'm gonna ask you, Corey. What was your most memorable FULDA Gap moment?
I have to say, there's 2 that come to mind. Joe White and I. This is the second best. Joe White and I held off Alpha. Remember when they had the tank there at the road?
Yeah, I was with y'all for a little bit till I got killed.
Okay, it was 13, I think. And me and him held off like 50 dudes.
It was
killed like 50 dudes.
It was me, you, and Joe on Para.
No, we weren't Para.
No, that's the cash. It's 2013 Para.
They was
12.
Yeah.
Well, I know I was with y'all at that point. Then I got shot out. Then I got shot out.
So that little tank they had placed there at the crossroads at Alpha, they just swarmed in, and me and him we were just shooting dudes just crossing the freaking road, just 50 of them. That was fun. The most memorable moment was 2011. First time I was here when I was all going home. And we were at OP Alpha, and it was 10 minutes away from game end. So we were deciding, should we go to Alpha and attack it? So I just decided to run up there and get no fire at all, up the hill from OP Alpha to Alpha. Get up to the embankment to the road and then the trench system.
Yeah.
And no fire at all. Get everyone, get the fuck on me, come on, it's clear. And there's 50 dudes behind me running in. And literally, we took Alpha last minute. I was laying on the road, and there was some guy just decided to give. I was rolling with the Buccaneer Pirates at the time, or the Cape Fear Buccaneers or something like that. It was like
Sounds like my high school.
Corey.
Yeah, no,
That's my thing. Is my high school is the Buccaneers.
Oh my god.
I can't remember what they were called, but I was rolling with them. And someone gave them a case of Thunderbeats, all with cores in it.
Oh God!
So I'm laying on the road, pinned down, and I'm laying on the road, and they're on the embankment. Someone gave them a box of Thunderbeats, and they're just fucking tossing them over me, and just boom, 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 and they're like landing at my feet also. Boom, boom, boom. We ended up getting Alpha last minute, and I think that's the base you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Last minute.
Yeah.
Alpha.
For that last minute point capture that we won that
Well,
year.
I think even Rex, we took it within like 10, 20 minutes, and that was the one a lot of people were figuring out about. But then afterwards, we're like, did we take Alpha too? And apparently we did. So.
Yeah. That was insane. I wish I got that video. You got me.
He's never
I've waited as long as I could.
Yeah, I feel I'll be there in a minute.
Not gonna beat you to it.
You guys rolled in from Georgia?
Yeah, me and my buddy Robbie, rolling from Georgia, yeah. He's, actually the one who got me into AIRSOFT. And they're really close from that time.
We're all from Wilmington, except
Except for
that
Logan.
guy.
Except for Panda.
And,
Yeah, except for Panda, he's from Myrtle.
If y'all want to
from Dirty
be,
Myrtle.
if y'all want to be
Nichols,
technical,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm
from
Oh,
Yeah.
good start.
You're
Frenchie.
yes.
Mike Giselle's my uncle.
Really?
Yeah,
What,
Ontario.
Ontario? Oh, I'm from Montreal.
Yeah.
All right, I can't wait no more.
I will be back.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm actually originally from Georgia, though.
Georgia.
I'm not originally from there. I'm originally from Minnesota.
From where?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota.
And I wasn't even born there. I was born in Tampa. Went to Tampa, Florida. Yep. Born in Tampa, Florida. Raised in Minnesota for 7 years. Moved down to Georgia for 15.
My
Still
Clearwater.
there. Really?
You're Clearwater? I was born in Deland, like, I moved and I lived in
Deland.
Clearwater for like 19 years.
Dang.
That's whatever.
Well,
My
my fiance is from Denellen. Denellen, Florida, and so she's around about the Ocala area.
Yeah.
And really? Cool. Well, yeah, she's from Denellen, Florida. It's like 10 minutes outside, you know. Still pretty nice setup, basically. But
gonna take a 5-minute break. I gotta piss like a motherfucker.
my thing, a lot of people gotta use the
Okay,
bathroom.
so it's now everyone has to piss share. Hold on.
Well, I'm gonna take a break myself because I'm gonna walk over here. But
I'll go with them. There's only 2 of them left.
Just, I don't know. What would be finer quality? Like super meta of just nothing happening?
no,
Would that be a solution?
no,
Your voice is cracked mega.
I know.
It's like, no.
I'm serious.
Mega,
Sinus
really.
infection is no good.
Oh. Funny river.
The Bubba's back.
I'm back, bitches.
I hate how guys can pee so fast. I hate that. I'm not gonna lie. I still hate it to this day.
The combat cameraman had to get his movie.
Well, that's the thing. Is like on our road trip here, it took like 2 or 3 minutes every time I get out of the car. It was so bad.
So
yeah,
bad.
we all rode up to SV. All of us rode up to SV together. And it was
Thank you.
5 of us in a car, and for some reason, my friend did not get the one that was gonna fit all of our gear with it.
Yeah,
So
we had
we're-
that issue.
So you know, we're sitting.
I have returned. You may now proceed.
Any hard?
Any hard?
Any hard.
Any whore?
Any
Any whore? What?
I'll take it for
Camera B is saying something.
What?
Oh, it is no longer saying. Okay. Any whore?
Maybe SD card full.
battery.
Turn it off.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good.
Damn.
When we were at,
Hey, it's Casper.
Casper, welcome to the live stream.
Yes.
Welcome to the live stream, Casper.
Come on in, special guest.
Fuck that.
No,
Am
you're
I-
like,
am
fuck
I-
this. I got too much
am I in
attention at
trouble?
ABA and shit.
I don't know. I feel like every time you show up, I'm always in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I'm always in trouble. To be honest.
You're in trouble.
You're,
I'm
a,
tr-
har-
I'm-
you're
I
a
am
Harley
trouble.
Quinn.
I'm-
You're always
hold
in
it.
trouble.
I'm
Or you
trouble.
are trouble.
I'm more.
Ask him.
I don't know what it is.
Well,
Damn it.
me and Casper know.
Something funny.
The Wolfie
Okay.
is live.
The Whoopi is live. Whoopi is live.
I will have to give.
It
I'll
has to
figure
be a
it out.
real Whoopi though. You can't just go buy it. It
No.
has to be issued.
It has to be issued.
Yeah.
Only issued Whoopies.
This was my issue.
Is this issued?
That one's not.
Did you get that issued?
We issued
to
that
you when you joined the
For
military?
temporary
Oh,
reserve for your
shit.
Now, that's one of mine.
That's his. Actually.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's not real Whoopi.
Yeah.
It isn't. It's in his hand.
Yeah, this is my
Your
my
hand's
issue.
Just blank. It's just.
This is my issue.
It's just a blankie. Yeah.
This one is my
you
issue.
know.
Does not leave my side.
I respect
I
that.
feel so bad from John Burt because somebody during the Houston floods, somebody broke into his Camaro and stole his 101st Whoopi.
Ow!
There would be like, you know.
And the
there'd be
only
a wine
attention
poster
to
that's
that
like, you know,
would be
just for that.
if you were military.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's fucked up right there.
but it was his 101st.
Completely wasted.
That he, yeah.
I would be, but I'm in the middle of this.
So fucking wasted.
I'm supposed to be right now.
Yeah, I like her.
That's
I'm supposed to be.
He's drinking over
I
there.
really want my mom to see this video.
Are you wasted? Chocolate wasted?
I can't get drunk at Miller Lite.
I like it.
I'm trying to get wasted, but it's not really going well. I'm sitting and talking.
Hey, I've been sitting here drinking beer.
Yeah, but what I have right now is something that Moses gave me, and I
What does that mean?
You know what you do? You know
What
you
is
do?
that mason
It
jar?
looks like some moonshine.
It's
It's
just
not-
I was
sweet tea.
told
The mason
there's
jar
not,
that's
there's
not
nothing
there.
down.
It's just sweet tea.
Hang
It's
on
just
now.
sweet tea.
Did he give you some?
No.
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 No, he didn't give me anything. No, he didn't give me anything.
Where is it? Where are you running? I'm just gonna wait for you to come back.
It's just coming back.
That's running. There's running involved in this. It ain't worth it. Like,
Oh, she's back.
Hey,
Yo,
you vaporized. She's back. Yo, what's up?
Ready?
Batteries ready?
Yeah.
All right.
there you go.
Don't forget taking me to tent tonight.
I say, don't forget you're taking me to the tent tonight. Oh yeah.
I thought
yeah, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard tent, not tent.
I mean, I know
It
that
might
it was
be, I might be in the
one
gutters.
person can.
I might be in the gutters right
Don't
now,
forget
but I'm
you're
not
taking
sure.
me to
I'm
the tent tonight.
I'm probably somewhere between. No, you don't you dare.
Oh my god, I can't sit down. Jesus.
I need more beer for this. I've only got 3 left.
Want another beer? Anybody need another beer?
I would love another beer, please.
Bubba want another beer.
I'll go get them.
Okay.
I'll go get beer.
Does anyone else want a beer?
Hey, Bubba, can you do me one favor? Can you give
totally
me
didn't dare. I just
Get me a
fucking made
beer.
it.
I'm like, that's
Can
David.
you give me one of my juice pouches?
David wants you to You got
Where
the
would you like
most
your beer?
adult treat in the world, and then you got the kiddie treat.
First
Hey.
on, you said it.
Can I tell you something? Hand me two, please.
Cass. Come here.
See, I don't drink.
You know, amazingly enough, my parents made me the most important name in the world, and people still simplify that.
What's your name?
Casper, the friendly ghost.
You know what everybody calls me?
What's your name?
The Cass.
Uh,
Just throw a thank you on there and make it work.
Here, David, here's your
What's your
card.
name, John? What do everybody call you? Joey.
That works
You
too.
want me to hold your moonshine?
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
To all the fans out there, I just want to say that I am the only one here that has a fiance that's pregnant.
I
Wow.
have a fiance.
I'm about to go tap.
What, your beer gut?
Oh shit! Was that a fat joke? Fucking skinny bastard.
Oh, shit.
That deserved a kick.
Well, damn. He just
You made it
so...
part, by the way.
I initiated a self-destruct sequence.
Yeah, you,
Since this live stream has gone to crap, we should end it.
yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we're at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah,
I might would.
this road has gone to
Hell
beer
back.
names and ass kicking.
Now,
Yeah.
can I ask you something?
What?
I ain't gonna cut this. Like,
what?
cut this.
There ain't no cutting this
It's a live
stream.
stream.
What they
This
see
is a
is what
live
they
stream.
get.
But this is what they see with what they
Like,
get.
do it
Talking
safe?
about the
Hell yeah, go straight to bed.
Everybody
say
say
bye.
stupid.
Everybody say bye.
Don't do drugs. Do drugs, stay.
Do
Don't
drugs.
What?
I don't know. Drink school doing drugs. I don't
What?
know.
Yes. Some free sun.
Warsaw.